This is a story about 5 of America's land speed record achievers. When becoming frustrated by the unpredictable weather and rapidly deteriorating condition of the salt flats at Bonneville, Utah, ventured overseas to try their luck on the salt flats in South Australia. Each of these men spent months preparing their cars, engines, spare wheels and tires, and created all the backup items that were needed. There would be no stores or facilities where they were going. Gairdner Dry Lake is 350 miles northeast of Adelaide in the Australian outback. A bit like those first pioneers who traveled to the Bonneville Salt Flats back in 1949. Except these 5 must prepare for every eventuality if their attempts at setting new world land speed records were to become successful. Each of them in their own domain felt they were conquering a monumental task. And actually, in proper perspective, they were. Another man, however, had tackled an even greater chore, that of getting these 5 cars and teams over 12,000 miles, halfway around the world, through customs, permits, to the salt flats, and back again to the United States. That was indeed a monumental task. And now a few words from the man who made this whole story come true.
Hi, my name is Dick Williams. It was the summer of '93, and our friends Gus and Kay had arrived here in California from their home in Australia to travel with us to the annual Bonneville Speed Week in Utah. A few days before the event, we received the message that Bonneville had been canceled due to rains and the poor condition of the salt. Our plans were shot, and we didn't know what to do at the time. Gus is the starter for the Dry Lakes Racers Australia, a club that has raced for about 4 years in the Lake Gairdner in South Australia. He suggested that we consider taking our American cars and others to their land down under to race on what he considered the best salt in the world. It sounded like a tremendous idea, but almost impossible. But it was also intriguing to me. So I decided to do some investigations and talk to racers, organizers, and government officials and ask for their advice. And in spite of some of that advice, I decided in '94 to attend the March meet in South Australia. I traveled by several modes of transportation to the outback, traveling on about 150 miles of dirt road each way. And there I found the best salt I'd seen in 40 years. Even got to drive a race car and test it out. They run on a 2-mile course, and I could see that there was plenty of room for a smooth, dry 15-mile course, which we haven't seen here in this country for many, many years. I returned home to America and formed a volunteer board of directors that have worked tremendously hard to make it possible for all of us to travel to Australia in search for new records. Let's now meet the 5 racers and owners that have committed to this first and pioneering effort.
Hello, I'm Teague, and we're here today working at our shop in Whittier, California, and we're preparing to go to Lake Gairdner in Australia. Unfortunately, we are kind of close on time. We got the message last week that we have to be packing and the car has to be in the container in a couple weeks. So we're really kind of hustling today. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about the car. The car was first built in 1974 and 75 were the 2 years it went through construction, and it was first run in 1976. It was first run as a Lakester, which means an open wheel vehicle. We ran it as a Lakester until 1981. And in 1981, we decided we wanted to make a streamliner out of it. So by making a streamliner out of it, we took both front tires and we enclosed them inside the body. And how we did that in kind of a unique fashion, yes, what we did on the front tires, we did not put them side by side. We put them one behind each other but staggered slightly. There's about a 3-inch offset between one wheel and the other. They're about, the center line of the wheels are about 2 feet apart. So they sit in tandem, slightly offset, and they both steer the same direction. The engine is basically a drag race type motor. It's a Keith Black aluminum Chrysler. We run stage 5 heads on it. The size of the engine is, we have 2 or 3 different sizes. We're in Australia, we're going to be running an unlimited engine, which is over 488 cubic inches. It's about 500 cubic inches. And we'll probably take down a couple B engines, which are 480 cubic inches. I'd like to take this opportunity right now to introduce part of our crew and people that have helped me many years on the car. First of all, we have Hank Vassetti to my right. He's basically the body man, and to Hank's right, we have Anthony Young, which is a top alcohol racer, drag racer. And on my left, we have Bob Tyler. He's usually our chief hustler. Now this is Rudy Ela. And now we have Bob Opperman. You know, a person's only as good as his crew. And when you have a crew like this, I think good things are going to happen.
This vehicle is 24 feet in length. It was designed and manufactured by myself in 1988 and 1989. The chassis was welded by my son Tim, and the stainless steel tanks and parachute tubes were built by my other son, Terry. The hand-formed aluminum body was built by Mel Swain of Hesperia, California. This vehicle has a 3-speed automatic transmission and is front-wheel drive. Hi, I'm Ken Walkey, and we're here in my garage in Granada Hills, California. We're preparing to go all the way to South Australia for the first international wheel-driven land speed event in the world. We're preparing 2 engines. One is a 304, 304 cubic inch displacement small block Chevrolet. The second one is a 371 cubic inch small block Chevrolet. The one before me here is the 304, the small engine that we originally started with. We've been on the dyno with it once. We had some problems. We've changed cams and literally rebuilt the whole engine. We are going back on the dyno in the morning. We're supposed to load the car with the engine in it in about 4 days. So we're kind of pushing and burning the midnight oil here. Power there, that's nice. 594. 594 horsepower.
Are you ready to go?
How? Okay.
It made 551 foot-pounds of torque at 5,250 RPM. It made 678.8 horsepower at 7250, and we ran it to 7500, which is still made 666.
Wow.
So that was very, very good run. And of course you can hear it.
Yeah.
And when you hear it run better, and remember I've been telling you, if you ever listen to a good one run, you'll know what it sounds like.
Right.
And
I love
it makes a big difference.
I love it. I love it.
And it made good torque at 55, and it made real good torque at 57.
Okay.
So we're really happy about that.
I think that's it.
My name is Chuck Salmon. I'm the owner and builder of the AA gas Some Fun Roadster. This car has a 540 cubic inch Donovan engine, and it's running on a record of 243.556 at Bonneville, Utah. We're on our way to Australia to try to set an international record and to go as fast as we can go. You drained the tank completely, right?
All the fuel out, yeah.
They might hassle us if they find any fuel in here. It looks pretty good. If we can get all of these sleeping bags and pillows in here, we won't have to crate them up, put them in the containers. So let's stuff everything we can stuff underneath the body. Okay. Okay, guys, that's about all we can stuff into this thing. Let's put the body back on. There we go.
Okay, let me go down ahead of you a little bit. I'm gonna go back some. Back a little more. Down there. Good.
I got Some Fun Roadster. Oh my gosh.
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce some of our crew. My son, Frank Salmon. He's the co-driver of the Some Fun Gas Roadster. This is Bob Silvera. He is our crew chief on the Some Fun Gas Roadster. Richard Rath, one of our crew members, and also my next door neighbor here in Lake County on beautiful Clear Lake, California. These fellows know as much about this car as I do. They can participate in any part of the car, in maintenance. I don't have to tell them what to do, they just know what to do.
In Newark, Texas, George Fields and his crew make final preparations for the trip to Australia. Frame parts for the car crate are laid out on the floor. 5 crates like this will be packed with what he hopes will be enough spare parts and supplies to last for 7 days of racing on the salt flats at Lake Gairdner. Almost every functional part of the chassis and engine is duplicated and packed carefully in these 5 crates. The modified 1937 Simca body is mounted to the chassis by George, his daughter Lydia, and crew member A.C. Urbanowski, a neighbor from nearby South Lake, Texas. A.C. is usually on the Fred Larson crew at Bonneville, but Larson could not make the trip to Australia, so A.C. jumped ship, offered his helping hands, and brought his sense of humor to the crew of car number 125. Little did we know at this time how important it would be to have a good sense of humor before this trip was over. Underneath the race car, A metal backbone is bolted to the chassis, and this will become the basis for outriggers and frames that, when completely assembled, will form a unitized car and crate on its own wheels for easy movement. The crated car and 5 equipment boxes are then loaded on a flatbed truck for transportation to Wilmington, California, where they will be packed in a sea container for the voyage to Australia.
Hello, I'm George Fields. I'm the owner and builder of the number 125 A blown fuel competition coupe. We're having a small celebration tonight. This is February the 5th. We have loaded the cars about 2 weeks now for the containers going to Australia. I'd like to introduce some of the members of my crew. This is my wife, Griffin. She'll be doing the filming, taking care of the money for us while we're in Australia. This is my daughter, Lydia. She'll be taking care of the computer work on the race car. This is my friend David Castile and his girlfriend Charlene. They live here in Newark, Texas. This is A.C. Urbanowski and his wife Evelyn. They live in South Lake, Texas.
Actually, George invited us because we have the magic screwdriver. It's got a spot right here for your hand, and the end is bent just perfect, and that fits in the modulated digitizer, which feeds a signal to the gunculator. That makes the car go fast.
And the top speed of Bonneville in 1994 was 311,410 the measured mile. We did that in 4 miles. The extra speed on that mile was 342. We're looking for some real great salt, some fantastic times, record speeds that will thunder down under.
John Goodman's car and equipment was delivered first to Dick Williams' home in Selva Beach, California, and Dick brought them to Wilmington for the container loading. This was our first view of Goodman's car. His home was in Kansas, and we had not had the opportunity to photograph his preparations there. The streamliners of Al Teague and Ken Walkey waited in a corner of the warehouse, and Chuck Solomon's beautiful Roadster was ready for loading. Warren Young, with many years' experience loading cars and containers for Dick, and other clients, discussed with Al Teague the various methods for putting 4 cars safely in one container. First, he built an upper deck for the Roadster, and then a pair of ramps to get the car up there. The same ramps would be used later as a platform for Goodman's car, and again later in Australia as a means to get the Roadster out of the container. With the ramps in place, and 4 crews now combined to operate as a single unit, gathered round to push the car up to its elevated roost for the journey overseas. Chuck Salmon then tied his car down to the crossmembers. Each car owner would be involved, with the help of Warren Young, in securing his vehicle in place for the trip. Then he would probably sleep well during the 2 months that would transpire before he could see his car again. Al Teague's car was next in, and it would require 5 hours of tying down as it was supported on rods that ran through the chassis. One of Walkey's crew members, engine tuner Fred Dannenfelser, secures the nose on Al's car.
That's about it on Teague's car. Okay, let's get Walkley's in.
With both streamliners in and securely fastened to the floor, the ramps will now be remounted in the container, only this time a bit closer together to match the narrow track of Goodman's Cosworth-powered Lacer. Additional supports are fitted under the ramps for the long journey, and as the car rolls toward the container, we can see the driver's cockpit of this machine is also filled with towels, bedrolls, and supplies. Goodman's car is very light, so while a few of the crew members roll it into the container and begin tying it down, others are loading the other container with crates of spare parts belonging to all 5 crews. Engines, wheels and tires, boxes of camping gear such as cots, bedrolls, and footlockers filled with extra work clothes. George Field's crated cars rolled in, and after all the heavy crates are in, the crew fills empty spaces with smaller items. Larger items placed on top of the crates must be fastened securely, and one of Al Teague's crew members, Bob Tyler, finishes tying down the last one. Loading is now completed, and the crew bids farewell to cars and equipment. was almost 2 months later. The same loading crew, along with over 50 additional family and crew members, boarded United Flight number 815 at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, March the 1st, for a 14-hour non-stop flight to Sydney, Australia. The Teagues, the Walkeys, the Fields, Solomons, and Goodmans now began to interrelate, and formation of the American team was beginning. Some of the rigors to be experienced in the Australian outback will be more easily overcome if the team works together as a pioneering family should. Arriving in Sydney at noon and losing a day crossing the international date line, we transferred to a smaller 737 for the hour-and-a-half flight to Adelaide.
Here we are aboard flight number 511. Really? It is Friday, the 3rd of March, and we're on Qantas Airline headed for Adelaide. For Adelaide, we'll spend the evening and then go on out to the Salt in the morning.
Fortunately, no one loses any luggage. It's loaded into a bus, and after a pleasant drive through the city of Adelaide, we arrive at the Ramada Grand Hotel. This is a vacation-type hotel situated by the seaside, where the view is beautiful, but for us the news is bad. Cyclone Bobby, which had traversed Australia from north to south, had dropped 4 inches of water on the salt flats, beginning to sound a little bit like Bonneville. Only a Bonneville rains can come at any time, while here at Lake Gairdner there had not been any rain in the month of March for over 20 years. Our trucks transporting the containers had stopped at the edge of the lake. A smaller vehicle, testing the surface, became mired in the muddy salt, so the containers were put down in a clearing about a quarter mile from the lake bed. The race meet was now postponed for 2 days. Plans were then formulated to send an advance crew out to the flats to unload the containers and get the race cars and equipment out to the salt as soon as the receding waters would allow. Tent City had to be rebuilt at the edge of Mount Ives Sheep Station as winds from the cyclone had blown them down. Additional vehicles were ordered for this advance crew, and we relaxed for the evening during a reception hosted by officials of the city of Adelaide. Team members wore their crew jackets, and the city-hosted cocktail party was supplemented with an endless supply of hors d'oeuvres. We then retired to the meeting room for a few speeches, more hors d'oeuvres, and then a few words from a representative of the Lord Mayor's office.
Representing the city of Adelaide, it's my pleasure to introduce just a wonderful guy, Mr. Chris Doulis, right?
Thanks very much. I was asked to come and represent the Lord Mayor of the City of Adelaide only this morning. I didn't realise until I came tonight just how close we are to America with the interest in motor cars. Pop a bottle and have a really good time. Welcome all, and thank you for inviting me.
Tomorrow morning we're going to try to get out of here between 9 and 10 o'clock. And we'd like, if at all possible, for at least 2 members from each car to go up with us in the caravan.
Saturday morning, our small convoy consisting of a Jeep, station wagon, 2 vans, and 1 small motorhome with the Texans in it, left Adelaide headed north on this beautiful highway some 250 miles to Port Augusta. Here we buy enough supplies to last until Monday night, when the bus and caterer will come out to join us at Mount Ives Sheep Station. Leaving Port Augusta, we headed west on Highway 1 another 50 miles to Iron Knob, where we would leave the pavement. We will not see pavement again for 8 days, just dirt roads, dust, and flies. We are now truly in the outback. I'm hoping the 52 pieces of Kentucky Fried Chicken we bought in Port Augusta will last until the caterer arrives on Monday. Our convoy together again now. We start 86 miles up the dirt road toward Mount Ives. At Mount Ives, we're still 26 miles from the salt flats, but here we will spend the night. George Fields and the Texans go by, leading the convoy into the wilderness. Where we see our first kangaroo. And now, the site of our home for the next week, Tent City at Mount Ives, and then the hot water system. Rainwater from the roof goes into this tank, then to the smaller wood fire-heated hot water tank, then into the upper tank before dropping to the 3 shower stalls. Hope they don't run out of wood. I now plan to rise early each morning to shower while the water is hot. Our cots and sleeping bags are still in the sealed containers. So after a night of fitful sleep on the hard tent floor, a breakfast of cold cereal and milk in the Solomon's minivan, we head out. Sunday morning we leave Mount Ive, head back to the larger dirt road, and then toward the salt flats, 26 miles away, a trip we would make every day. The containers containing the race cars and equipment are 1/4 of a mile from the salt because that was the last level spot they could find prior to reaching the salt. Chuck Salmon begins unloading even before the customs inspector looks inside. Seals are cut and doors of the other container are now open. The team begins unloading all equipment. Boxes of supplies, drums of nitro are put out on the red dirt. We see those without fly nets continually swatting and waving at the flies. John Goodman's is the first car to come out, and the ramps will be removed so we can get to the 2 streamliners. Later, the ramps will have to go back in to get the roadster out. Lots more work to this hot rodding sport than meets the eye. Dick Williams had rented a forklift from Adelaide, and it would be a lifesaver all week. Field's created car is now brought out with it.
Straight on, Ken. Keep it going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Wonderful. This is what we're going to wear here now for a week or maybe 7 or 8 days, because without it, the flies come in and the flies eat you up.
I want you to call your attention to this net, Martha. This makes the trip perfect. You come down here, you put this net on, you have no flies, no dust, filters out everything.
Give us the moon!
Next, I'm going to bring this one home to you, and you can wear it around the house. How about that?
This little thing was to keep the flies off of your face. We did hear one Aussie say, though, that if you just pulled your pants down, you wouldn't have any problem with them around your face, so. You might have tried that. Yeah.
And the Aussies made 2 of their race car trailers available. One was 12 feet long, the other 13 feet. Ken's car is 24 feet long, and Teague's is 28. Using planks from the containers, the trailers are made longer and then counterbalanced with human bodies up front. Walkey's was first out to the flats, and now we see the salt for the very first time. Over 20 miles wide and 90 miles long, it's really awesome. Kind of brings back memories of early days at Bonneville, when a 10-mile circle could be laid out for endurance runs, and a 13-mile course was available for straightaway record attempts. Yep, I believe it. Yankee ingenuity. Many more bodies are needed to counterbalance Teague's car because of the excessive overhang, and the Aussies are right there, as they would be all week long, with extra bodies and helping hands. Their willingness to tackle even the dirtiest chores with a smile, and their sincere display of joyful camaraderie somehow made the substandard conditions at base camp bearable. Salmon's car is next, and again many helping hands are in evidence. His car fits easily on the trailer, and without much ado is rolled off the trailer into the pit area. This has been a very productive day. All of the equipment and all of the cars are now on the salt. Tonight, it will be cold Kentucky Fried Chicken again. We had it for lunch today, too. Sure be glad when that caterer gets here tomorrow. Today is a preparation day on the salt. Crews are setting up awning frames and securing ground covers to the surface. Ground covers are actually more important than overhead awnings. These covers retain all liquids, oil, coolants, cleansers, anything that might contaminate the salt. They brought these habits from America, where our Save the Salt program has become so deeply instilled in their minds. The pit area is set back a quarter mile from the 2-mile clocks, where the majority of the Aussies will complete their speed runs. Everyone will push 2 miles down to the starting line. Today the Aussies are setting up and testing their clocks for the 2-mile run. The 5-mile long course timer from America has been held up in customs, but we hear it is on its way out here now. Meanwhile, back in Adelaide, the rest of the family and crew members board the bus to come out and join us. I hope the caterer is coming too.
There has to be salt spray all over this.
George, do you think to bring any rags? Good.
Jeff Ray, steward for the Dry Lakes Racers of Australia, begins the drivers and owners meeting Monday afternoon with a description of the racetrack layout, indicating location of the 2-mile and 5-mile clocks, the kilo clocks within the last mile, and that all normal turnouts will be to the right. A question and answer session ensues. Americans need to clarify some of the long course procedures. This will be a first time for most of the Aussies to see a 5-mile course. Usually they run only 2 miles. Dick Williams and Chick Cannon then explain services of the fire and safety crews. They will station a crew at the 2-mile and meet all long course cars at the end of each run to check for fires and safety. Jeff Ray now calls for vehicle safety inspections. The Aussies call it scrutineering.
Some of these guys you gotta watch out for, because this chute will stay in here until next August. You know, well now the damn thing's gotten wet, it's all stuck together, and you pull the wire, and the rubber band goes twang, and the pack just lays. You want to check it out. Now see, on Al's car, the water is coming out of these tanks, and it's going through the frame rails right down the side of the car. Now there's another thing we gotta watch for. As the car gets older, does the water rush the hole through the frame?
Press this one right here. Oh, right. Just those 2 push buttons. These are switches for the blower. There's nothing else hooked up here, Dave, is there? I think we took we're not using these other 2, are we?
No, just the 2 inside ones. One's your air conditioner, one's your water pump.
As long as the liquid can't go underneath the driver, it goes out of the car, under the car, and the driver holds it. Can reach right up.
Thanks very much.
Meanwhile, back at Mount Ive Base Camp, the bus from Adelaide arrives with the rest of the crew members and families, and just behind them came the caterers. Watching hot food being prepared, I say goodbye to the last of the cold fried chicken and prepare for a nice dinner. On a chair and in a tent, a chow line forms for the first of what will prove to be a series of very delightful meals. One day out on the salt, we even have fresh lobster.
There you go. It all looks good.
There we go. Scrambled eggs. We got the lot.
Greg Zwar of Harrow, Victoria, tows his gas Lakester out on the salt as the bus stops at the end of the road. Later, the driver's convinced it's safe to bring it out on the salt. In the pits, everyone prepares for first runs. There will be timing today only at the end of the 2-mile course. Clocks for the 5-mile course are now here, will be set up and tested later in the day, and should be ready for Wednesday morning. Everyone will use the short course today to make plug checks and get the feel of the salt. During his first test run, Chuck Salmon reaches 222 miles per hour at the 2-mile clocks. Al Teague goes by at 272 miles per hour in the short course. Ken Walkey passes the 2-mile at 239 miles per hour, and instead of deploying his chute, coasts on the course a few miles to see how the salt feels. Goodman's crew prepares his sleek Lakester for its first run. The 2-liter Cosworth engine and 5-speed gearbox have pushed the car to 184 miles per hour at Bonneville. George Fields prepares for his first run. The starting line, where sometimes as many as 4 or 5 cars line up waiting for their turn to run.
Now, you probably want to know how that felt.
How'd that feel, George?
Well, it was very wet.
Last run of the day was made by New Zealander Richard Hollywood, a very respectable 160 miles per hour in the 2 mile. He should do quite well in the long course tomorrow morning. Today is the first day for long runs through the full 5 mile course.
First run, how did it perform, Ken?
Oh, the car performed just absolutely beautiful. This Australian salt has got to be the best salt in the world.
It's certainly got a future for dry lake racing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Weather conditions?
Weather conditions, we're a little windy today. We could make a down run with the wind, but we could not make a return run.
Plans for today and tomorrow?
Plans for today. Well, yesterday we made a very short run, which was only a 2 mile run, 1 mile approach to a 1 mile course. We did it mainly just to get a good plug rating for weather conditions and so on here at Lake Gairdner. But what we're doing today, well, first off, the run yesterday was 239 miles an hour. It was just kind of a warm-up run.
What are you looking for?
Today we're looking for about 330.
And that will give you a record in your club?
Yes, it will. Yes. The record at present is 303, and I would like to kick it up far enough so that my competition, Danny Boy Apples up in Washington, cannot catch me for a while.
Thank you, Ken.
My pleasure.
The car performed as we expected it. It was a warm-up run. We were mainly interested to see how the course was. The course was great. We did not lose any traction accelerating. So today we're going to plan on making a harder run through the 5 mile course and trying to get up to our speed potential.
Weather condition, not that good, Al. Happy with it?
The conditions are fine. We've been having a wind here. We've been having a slight crosswind, and that's been hampering it just a little bit. Today we've got a cloud cover, and the wind's also with us, so that holds our speeds down a bit.
What are you expecting today, Al?
as far as speed?
We'd like to get into the high 380s, 390s, right in there, close to 400 today, hopefully.
And when do you see the big run coming?
As soon as the crew, they're working on it now. As soon as it gets down, we'll get down to the other end, and maybe the wind will die down. So a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours or so.
Plenty of run-up distance?
No, not as we would like. It's a little wet down at the other end. We're only going to use a 4-mile approach to a timed mile, so that's a total of 5 miles is all.
Is there a problem with the timing device from America?
There has been. There has been. It won't time under certain speeds, but they're working on it to get it fixed.
Thank you.
Sure.
Teague's first run today did not produce desired results. Between the 2 and 3 mile markers, the course was very wet. He went only 289 miles per hour. Fields was going to be the very next to run, but this run was going to have to be aborted when a kangaroo was spotted crossing the track.
Who's cow collaring who there? Who's running who?
Go, baby, go.
That's kind of my Anaskopa fireman, I think.
Get it off.
What happened?
Well, we cleared the 1 mile short track course at 241 miles an hour, and then the engine started to not really accelerate the way it should. And before I could take my foot off it, there was a heavy vibration, and I had a couple of rods sticking out through the side of the block. So we literally blew an engine. The engine is in the car still, and we're going to pull that out and put another engine in. We did bring a spare engine.
So you certainly come prepared?
I certainly hope so.
What does it require?
It requires pulling this engine out of the car, putting the other one in, and just tuning it a little bit, and we'll be ready to go in the morning, I think.
How was your run yesterday?
First run, we couldn't get into fourth gear, so we aborted it at 1 mile. We went back to the pits and adjusted the shift lever so that we could get fourth and fifth gear. Went back out, and that ran beautifully. What we found is a bit of a stiff tailwind, so we weren't really sure if the gearing was right, so we're going to make a gear change today and see if we can straighten that out.
Did you get a time in the 2 mile?
No, the timing clocks were down to our end.
Oh, I see.
That's okay. It didn't really make that much difference. We wanted to see if we could get the gears. We could run through the gears and if everything was working.
How's the salt?
It's a little slippery.
Yeah.
Not really hooking up like we want. So that's part of why the gear change. We might play with tire pressures a little bit today too and see. It's supposed to be a still day today and real hot, so that could be better. You never know it by the skies now.
Now the wind blew all night. Let's hope it dies soon.
Yeah. It's still early.
Yeah, John.
Good morning. My name's John Lynch. I live in Castlemaine, Victoria, Australia, and I own this belly tank replica. The whole body has been hand formed from aluminum to look like a belly tank and to fit the frame we had previously built.
And the What's the power in the car?
It's powered by an aluminum Keith Black engine with a 1071 blower, fuel injection, put together very kindly for me by LT.
Do you plan to run today?
Yeah, we're hoping to have a run shortly.
And today is Wednesday, about the middle of the meet. Because of weather, we're getting a late start.
Right, yeah.
What do you anticipate a speed? Just
Oh, look, I have to go out and do licensing passes, and we'll just see what happens. See how it feels.
Wonderful. We'll look for you later today and watch your progress.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lynch's best time today was 208 miles per hour. Very good first day for new car and new driver. Teague returns to the pits from his last run of 289, and the crew must now remove all of the salt picked up on the return trip through virgin salt. Fields runs again, and this time turns 235 miles per hour in the 2 mile.
The problem was we had too much horsepower and not enough track. We done 235 with the 2. No clocks, no flags. Really difficult to keep on the course. The wind keeps going, it may dry out, we'll be okay. We've probably got a transmission problem we've got to sort out today. Give another stab at it. I guess the deal is improvise, adapt, and overcome. Do you think that you'll be able to run today? Probably not. Well, good luck tomorrow. We'll find out. We'll just have to see if we'll have to see what the transmission problem is. We've got a leak in the transmission. Ah, okay. We can fix it. If that can be fixed, and I have the clocks fixed, yeah, we'll make that run.
Meanwhile, back in Walkey's pit, the broken engine comes out of the car. The supercharger is taken off and set aside. The new engine comes out of the crate by the Aussies and Kiwis and brought around to where engine builder Dick Kelsey and Walkey can begin assembly. And out on the race course, Goodman makes a test run preparing for a full course run later in the day. And in his 56 Ford two-door powered by a 390-inch big block, Gary Tate achieves 149 miles per hour in the short 2-mile course. Work continues in the Walkey pit, with 6 eager hands mounting the supercharger to the new engine.
And the conditions look good out?
Conditions look favorable. They're not perfect. We have a breeze blowing right now. The salt conditions are still a little moist, but we're going to give it a try.
Thank you.
Mike Bowden, 132 miles per hour today. Rod Adfield finally breaks 200 miles per hour barrier at 219.6.
My name is Rod Hadfield and we're from Castlemaine in Victoria.
And how long have you been attempting the 200 barrier?
Oh, this is our third attempt at the 200 barrier with this particular car. 2 previous years we've tried it and this year we've finally done it.
So you've achieved your dream?
We certainly have.
Well, what happens from now?
Well, now we're going to put a taller diff in it. We've got the motor sorted out and we're going to go for 225 if we can this year.
Will it be done here?
Fairly confident. We've just got to wait for this wind to die down. It's just miles too windy at the moment.
Al Teague makes another run, but because of the wet salt and the wind, could not better his 289 run made this morning. The engine is now basically complete, so our international crew prepares to put it in the car. A really tremendous amount of work accomplished here today. Kangaroo on course is the message that's relayed to the starting line, so no racer will be in a speed run down the track. The patrol car will escort this crew off the course, and we wait to make sure he is out of harm's way before starting another car. Goodman's 2-liter Cosworth screams as he hits 198 miles per hour, 14 miles over his own existing record at Bonneville. And Walkey fires up the new engine. Sounds very strong. He'll be ready in the morning. Again, Richard Hollywood makes the last run of the day, 183. He gets faster each day. On our way back to base camp at Mile 5, we see kangaroos at the water tank. We usually see them here if we go in before dark.
Yeah, it's topped off. Okay, the way you want to run, Ken? It's fine.
We're going to put Frank in the car the first thing this morning and let him run for the 2-mile and just feel out the rest of the course. If it's too windy, he's just going to shut her down. So we just need some weather, that's all we need.
Thanks, Chuck. Good luck today. Successful runs yesterday. Can you tell me about it?
Yes, we made a down run sometime around 11 o'clock yesterday. We had a bit of a strong tailwind. It gave us a little bit of problem controlling the car on the down run. We still didn't cause us too many difficulties because we did get a decent 2-mile time. I think we got 198 miles an hour to 2 mile. And got hooked up pretty good all the way out to the kilo with a 210 exit for the kilo and out the back door at 212. So we're very, very happy about that. It's the first time the car's gone over 200 miles an hour. We had no idea about the return run. I don't know if you want to hear about the return run yet, but the return run was salt that we hadn't driven on, so we had no idea. And it very definitely became different salt. I mean, it was a little rougher. The traction was better. We had no tailwind. We actually had a little headwind, which we thought would slow the car down. Come to find out, our 2-mile trap speed was 198 miles an hour there as well with the headwind. The car was rock stable, didn't wander at all. We attributed that to a little downforce that we might have obtained from the headwind itself. Too bad we didn't get the kilo time, however, because the clocks didn't work apparently for our return run at the kilo. So we don't know what our exit speed was, but just from a driver's perspective, it felt awfully good. We know it was a fast run, so we're just hopeful we'll be able to repeat today.
Or a little faster, perhaps.
Or
today.
faster, perhaps.
Yeah. How about your crew? Are they all busy right now? Could we meet a couple of them?
Well, I can get one over here right now, Brown. Brown Warner's from Osborne Manufacturing. He's been kind of the stabilizing force among the rest of us. When we get off doing things, get tunnel vision, Brown kind of brings us back to reality. So Brown in his own right's been an ex-world champion in motorcycle racing, flat track. So he brings a lot of experience to this team.
Good luck today, John.
Okay, thanks, George.
Bye-bye.
While Walkey is being pushed toward the starting line, Al Teague begins a run through the 5-mile course. The chutes come out and the engine dies. He has aborted the run. Goodman begins his morning run.
Give us a full speed reading on 501?
I can, in the kilometer, 208.426 miles per hour. Exit speed, 208.381 miles per hour.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Frank Salmon, Chuck's son, starts a 5-mile run.